The Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams have reportedly maintained talks and video chats since their initial meeting, strengthening that relationship with the team. We're going to look at that. Plus, we're going to look at how the work really does start for the Chicago Bears after they draft Caleb Williams. We're going to look at all that, plus the mailbag, right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Terry Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content, y'all. So apparently, according to NFL.com's Tom Pellericchio, he says that the Bears have kept in contact with Caleb Williams since their initial meeting with him in person since they met with him met in person a couple of weeks ago, have also had video chat sessions, and discussions between the two sides have been very frank and positive. So that's just another sign that points towards, for those that are still remaining out and asking the questions if the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams, let's just put that to bed, right? By this time next week, we will be talking about Caleb Williams and the other draft picks as well for the Chicago Bears and what their roles are going to be. We're going to be in more so review mode. And I, for one, can't wait for it. I can't wait to get to the place to where all the speculation can cease and we just need to be talking about football. That's what it comes down to. And so we all know that once the Bears moved on from Justin Fields, all those things. Now, Pellericchio as well did say in this that as far as contract negotiations, they could be more complicated than a normal slotted deal, given the uniqueness of Caleb's draft process thus far. Now, that can only be so interesting, right? I do think that could Caleb be asking whatever, could some things be in there? Yeah, but NFL deals when it comes to your first overall pick are pretty straightforward. And I don't think it's going to be, and I already know people are going to hit the blind speculation. Remember when that stupid stuff was going around? Oh, he's going to ask for part ownership in the team. It's not even legal per the CBA. So everybody just needs to shut up about that. Specifically, the people who originated those rumors, and I think it was even Caleb Williams' dad who initially talked about that, maybe not understanding the rules, but again, focused on football. And that's what it comes down to when it comes with this decision. So the next set of questions on that afterwards are, of course, not only what the Chicago Bears are going to do with number 9, but it's going to be what are the expectations around the team. And Ryan Poles said this: because of the moves we've been making and the progress we've been making from a football standpoint, I think these guys are starting to see that this can be a place where special things are going to happen. What are those special teams? The Chicago Bears went 7-10 special things, not teams. The Chicago Bears went 7-10 last year. And of course, the expectation with the improvements that they've made on top of getting a quarterback like Caleb Williams is going to be playoffs, right? That is the expectation when it comes down to it. So we got to see what's going to happen with that. The Bears won 7 of their last 13 games on the season. And so, that's something that we're going to have to see continually improve for this team. And can they hit it? The Bears are a team that's built to win now. I don't think anybody, overlooks that or does not understand that when it comes down to it. So, and also this is still a team that's still fresh. 15 of the most expensive contracts on the Chicago Bears, those deals have been signed within the last 14 months. Now, some of those are re-signings of our own free agents, but when it comes down to it, the Bears are still a fairly new team, right? And we're still coming together, but those expectations do not cease. This team has now been built to win now. That's what's here. And so, it raises some questions. And of course, part of those questions that it raises are around Matt Eberflus. When you look at it, since 2013, 7 teams have drafted a quarterback number 1 overall. 4 of those teams have fired their head coaches during the quarterback's rookie seasons. So that's Flus. His job is not completely safe. Now, I do think that they are. Flus has 1 more year left on his contract. I do think with bringing in a new offensive staff, new quarterback, things like that, they're going to let him see out the natural conclusion of his deal unless it goes completely left and terrible. That's the only way that I can see it going any differently than that. But it comes down, I think the Bears have, the expectations are set. That's for the players, that's for the coaching staff. Hell, that's even for Ryan Poles and how he holds himself accountable as well. So that's something to continue to look out for and how that's going to develop. But considering only 2 coaches since 2013, survived first overall picks, that's Zach Taylor and that's Cliff Kingsbury. Other than that, and that's Cliff Kingsbury in 2019 with the Cardinals. When it comes down to it, eyes are on Matt Eberflus as well. Matt Eberflus has tons that he needs to prove, and overall this coaching staff has tons that they need to prove as well. And it seems like a lot of people are starting to understand that the Bears are a team that has expectations around it. Mark Dominic on Sirius XM says this: you have to be 8-9 or 7-10 or better. I think he's got to be, hey, we got to show that we can score points in a division that's going to score a bunch of points. It's a lot of expectations around this team, man. And when it comes down to it, how they either do or do not live up to those expectations are going to be telling for Bears fans. But Bears fans are looking for change. And part of that change now is specifically getting on the right side of the winning column. You are not wrong. Nobody's wrong for having the expectation of the Bears continuing to be in the playoffs this season. They need to be in the playoffs. How they get there, that's a story for another day. You look at the defense. The defense is something that is on the rise. I love the defense that we have here. Yes, even with the opposite edge of Montez Sweat not being as clear, don't overlook DeMarcus Walker as well as what he can bring if he does end up being the starter there at that spot. But there's a lot of talent on this team. And as we go forward to that new phase that we've all been talking about, knowing that's coming, wins need to be the biggest part of that. And let's hope that's the case for the Chicago Bears. But with that said, this is Friday's episode, so that means it's a mailbag episode. It's built mainly around your voicemails. This one's from Ja.
My guy is Ja from Arizona, Gerard from Arizona. It is not Josh. I had to text Hayes on the chat to let y'all know it's not Josh again. It's not Josh, but Ja. J-A-H or Jarrod is either way. That's the government either way. Anyways, I had to do a couple of things on this here podcast message. One is piggyback off of Darius. He is absolutely right. We should not take any more just dumbass calls. I mean, some people have different thoughts, and I respect that. Everybody got their own opinion. I can respect it. But some of the opinions, like Bo Nix at 9, bruh, it's got to stop. Just got to stop. Number 2 is, bruh, what are we going to do at number 9? Do we take Latu, Jared Verse? What do y'all think? I think it's possible that instead of even having a number 9 pick, we trade down like my man T-Dub say and go get inmates. What y'all feel about that? Maybe I knew those too that only until draft night you can offer future picks, meaning like, your future picks in order to acquire, another pick. So I think that's probably what I would do. What would y'all do? And what do y'all think Ryan Poles is going to do? Chicago up and bear the motherfucker down.
What do the Bears do at number 9? I mean, they have a plethora of things in front of them. They could trade up. They can trade down. They could stay the same. I think regardless of whatever that scenario is, that Ryan Poles is going to have his specific targets that he's looking for on those spots. And if he gets those guys, that's going to be what tells a big thing for the Chicago Bears. Well, not if. I think he will. So Ryan Poles is going to review as the draft is going on. Okay, who's shaping up to fall? All right, who could we trade down and get? What's the assets that we're going to get back if we trade down? What's the possibility of us trading up, right? If they truly, do want to take a move up to get one of those players and not risk them falling down to 9. So I can't say what the Bears should do at number 9. I think this is the thing. They should go out and get the best situation that they feel fits. And that doesn't necessarily mean getting more draft picks just because Bears fans look and say, you got to get more draft picks. We only got 4. It means getting the right guy if you don't trade down. And I think there are a lot of those guys who can shape up to be that right guy at that position and hope that they work out. So I think what Ryan Poles has done, and as I've said over the last couple of weeks with this, is he's maintained flexibility. And that's the best thing at this position with number 9 is that flexibility to move up, to move down, to stay the same. And regardless of that scenario, you're getting a hell of a player. And if you do trade down, you're getting more assets back on top of that because you're not just trading down to trade down. So I think that that's what this scenario best gives the Chicago Bears. And it's one that I'm excited to see what comes out of it. But great voicemail there, Ja, and we appreciate you, man. Sorry for everybody getting your name wrong. You got to enunciate, brother. I swear it sounded like you said Josh. All right, let's get into the next one. This one's from Tonio.
Hey, Bobby C-Dub, Tonio calling in. Hey, as we're getting closer to the draft, and at this point, like you said, the consensus is Caleb is probably going to be the pick outside of any Ryan Poles last minute watch this moment. Do you think that Caleb will be a distraction, not to the team per se, but more or less to himself? At this point, like I said, if he's going to come here to play and he's doing everything he needs to be doing on the field, do you think he will be a distraction off the field more or less to himself? Will he have I'm going to do this, and this, but will it get in front of will he be a hamperance to himself, not necessarily to the team. Because I feel with the pieces around him, you really can't mess it up. I mean, you probably could, but the room and the margin for error at this point is pretty low. But, like I said, there are rookie mishaps as well too. But that was my question for today. Do you think he'll be more of a hindrance to himself than the team, or is he going to be able to actually just, hey, come in, play ball, do what he got to do? I feel like the dynamic of the quarterback we had with Justin, he was real cool, mellow. When he had to, to hype up or, do what he had to do, he was there for that. But Caleb was more, I guess in a sense, charismatic to an extent. He's more outward in some ways, more other than Justin. But do you think that will play a negative part in his development, as opposed to him being more head down in the books, get to work type of player? Outside of that, just let me know what you think. Y'all have a great day. Shot-town up. Straight down.
Will Caleb be a distraction? I tell you what, if this culture that Ryan Poles has talked about building has been legit, then he shouldn't be. If this culture is thing and this expectations and what he's trying to build as a team and Caleb Williams fits into that, he shouldn't be a distraction. Not even for himself. Yeah, he has his goals. Yeah, he has his things that everybody has their own personal distractions. Make no mistake about it. Every player in the NFL has their own personal life things, whether it's coincides with professional, whatever it is, that can be a distraction. But the key thing is to not let that be the distraction and to focus on football. The other things come where they will. Whether you want a big contract, whether you want, as reported, Caleb Williams wants to live up and be the next Tom Brady, whatever it is. If he wants those things, that he has to know it has to come through football first. And so I'm not too worried about Caleb Williams being a distraction. I am worried about him being a distraction for fans because his natural personality and whatever else, the zestiness, as some people say, may be a distraction for them. But when it comes down to it, you win football games. I think everybody's going to focus on that. So I'm not saying that there's not a chance of that. I just hope with what we're building here and then what Caleb Williams' ultimate goals also are, that possible distractions are mitigated a little bit. At least that's my hope. All right, let's get into this next voicemail. This one's from Darius.
What's going on, guys? Darius from Dallas. Sitting up here, I work from home now, so I'll be watching all y'all shit as soon as it drops. Just here watching you and Bobby and C-Dub talk about this Marvin Harrison, okay? Now, Hayes, you done talked about him countless times. I ain't going to tease you about that. I'll say this, okay? The kid's obviously the best wide receiver in the draft. And Bobby did make a good point about how if we trade a first-round pick to move up, next year's first-round pick, if everything goes right, 'cause that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk from a standpoint of if everything goes right, okay? It ain't going to be a high draft pick anyway. Wouldn't even be, so we're the players that we're drafting and the players that we've got acquired in the off season are going to be the core of what leads us to a Super Bowl run, right? All right, so I'm okay with that. If we want to trade up to go get Marvin Harrison, that's cool. But if that happens, I'm sorry, man. Expectations go up, bro. Expectations go up. Hey, I'm sorry, man. Yes, my expectations of Caleb Williams are going to be to lead us to the playoffs this year and maybe even make a deep run. Because if you got DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, Everett, DeAndre Swift, a couple more tweaks to the offensive line, what the fuck else do we need, bro? So that's cool. If we make that transition, or make that risk, or take that risk, take that trade, we go up there, we go get Marvin Harrison. That's cool. But if that happens, and we would all love that. As Bears fans, we would all love that. Who are we kidding? But if that happens, dude, I'm sorry. That Super Bowl window opens up this season, in my opinion. I know that sounds irrational, but you got to hear me out. That's 4 years that we got these players. If everything goes right, like I said before, I'm speaking from a perspective of everything goes right. All right? If everything goes right, we cannot afford to pay all them goddamn players. We can't afford to give Caleb Williams a max contract, Marvin Harrison a max contract. We're probably going to be in an extended DJ Moore a couple times by then. We got not even including what's on the defensive side of the ball. We're not going to be able to afford. We can't give Caleb 3 years because it's going to be too much money that needs to be dished out by the time that comes. He's going to be due for a contract extension, probably a market setting one if everything goes right by year 3. So in my opinion, this is the first year. You're going to get out there, get to the playoffs, maybe have a C.J. Stroud type result where you make it to the first, maybe second round. Cool, I'll take that. But I ain't taking nothing less than that, Hayes. I'm sorry. If we put all our chips in and go get Marvin Harrison Jr., that Super Bowl window opens up, if not this year, for fucking sure the next year. I think it should open up this year because no other quarterback has them kind of weapons, man, if we pull that off. I can't think of no other quarterback in the league that's going to have that many weapons. So he's going to be in the best position in the NFL. No excuses whatsoever. And I'm sorry if that happens. If he comes into this season with Marvin Harrison, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, two above average tight ends, if you ask me, brother. You can't tell me not to have no expectations for him when he's in the best situation in the league as a quarterback. Maybe the kid from San Francisco might be in the only one that's comparable. Let's just say San Francisco is the most loaded roster. Okay. And let's compare that Marvin Harrison lineup that you're talking about trading up and getting him. Okay. Our wide receiver core will be better than theirs. Christian McCaffrey. Okay. They got us at running back. I ain't gonna lie about that. I think with Caleb, we'll have them at quarterback and they got us at offensive line. So we're just talking about from a passing option standpoint. No other team other than San Francisco, maybe the Eagles, will have more weapons at their disposal than Caleb Williams. So I'm sorry, man. He can't be generational, also be in the best situation in the league, and we still not raise our expectations. That's unfair to say. That's unfair to expect from the fans. You damn sure can't expect that of me. God damn it. We get Marvin Harrison Jr. cool, trade up, give assets if that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, if that happens, my expectations go up, and I need that learning curve from him to get a hell of a lot fucking smaller. Yeah, by mid-season, I'm going to be expecting him to be firing on all cylinders and getting us to the playoff. I'm sorry, man. With those weapons and the defense we got, there are no excuses. And, yes, I am going to be a little bit harder on him than I was with Justin and Trubisky because they ain't had them weapons. So that's all I'm saying, brother. If you want to do Marvin Harrison, cool. But be prepared for me to call in every Sunday and bitch when I don't see nothing go right from Caleb Williams on that field. If that happens, which I'm rooting for the guy. I think he's going to be great. But what I'm saying is, get Marvin Harrison Jr. with this lineup we already got. Be prepared for me to be extra critical on his ass and along with everybody else in the fan base as well, man. But that's all I got to say. Texas up there, then. Appreciate it.
First of all, Darius, if you just want a podcast, just say that. This man called in, had the 3-minute limit, and then almost got to the 3-minute limit a second time. But no, I completely agree with you. Like, make no mistake about it, right? The expectations, the expectations are there, I think, regardless, right? Let's see how it goes in this draft. But I would say even if the Bears get Romo Dunze, right? The expectations are the playoffs. And I think that's that regardless. So I get what you're saying is for when I say mitigate the expectations for Caleb, it's the people that say you absolutely need to get C.J. Stroud numbers. He's a rookie. Those numbers are rare for a reason. I think that Caleb Williams can have a great rookie season and not match C.J. Stroud's numbers from last year. It's about how he manages his time here, and I think that's the thing. But let's be clear here. Especially if the Bears do trade up and get Marvin Harrison Jr., those are the best weapons that we've probably ever had as a Chicago Bears team when you add in the tight ends, when you add in Swift, Khalil, Roshan, right? The bigger question is there, and for what you asked them is what else do we need? I think the biggest thing that I would have a question about at that point, does the O-line stay healthy enough, right? Because that's still a question. Regardless of how you view their performance once they're on the field, the health concerns with Tevin, the health concerns with Nate Davis from last year, right? Yeah, Darnell Wright was great, and I expect him to continue to be great, but there's always those injury concerns on that offensive line. Now, they've built in depth as well. They went out and got some depth moves and versatile players there, so that's good. But I think other than that, what else do we need? We need this O-line to stay healthy, but everything else you said, I completely agree with. Especially if they trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr., the place that this defense is in on top of all those things, yeah, this needs to be a time where this team definitely needs to be pushing for the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying Super Bowl contention. That's where I would never, in the first year of a team coming together, say that they need to be in Super Bowl contention. I need to see the foundation laid, but that foundation definitely needs to be the goddamn playoffs this year. Let's get into the playoffs. Bear down. All right, let's get into the next one. This one's from Tyrese.
What up, Cognac boys? This your boy, man, Tyrese, calling from Arkansas by way of South Side of the shop. But listen, real quick, this is for Hayes, man. You know, I had made a comment, and I don't know if you think that I got it confused with you know, the difference between Chop Robinson and Darius Robinson. I really don't. I just want you to know this, man. Darius Robinson is going to surprise everybody when he go in the late first or early second, because it ain't going to be no surprise for me, because dude is a freaking animal. Dude is a dog. That's why I said if we did trade back our number 9 pick, I would love to go back and try to pick him up if we missed out on one of the top 3, defensive ends, because I think, like I said, in one of the other conversations that the Cognac boys had even after, I was telling them, like, trade back number 9, go pick up, us a center or somebody else and get extra second round pick and try to get Darius Robinson, not Chop, because Darius is going to be he gonna be in a running for rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year for whatever team he land on, because I believe in his talent. And then, man, that Senior Bowl, then shot him up draft boards for sure. But I guarantee you, I'm gonna put it like this here: if my mans don't go late first, early second, come football season, no, I'm gonna super chat a 50 spot. But if he do go late first, early second, I don't ask y'all to do nothing but say, man, you was right. That's it. You ain't got to say that. Just know that, I put some value on this kid. I know my opinion don't count, but, you know how we are as Bears fans. We want who we want. And that guy, I want him. I don't give a damn what round. All right, man, I just want to let Hayes know that I wasn't confused the difference between Chop and Darius, man, but I really want Darius over Chop. It's either Latu, or Darius Robinson for me. All right, you guys. Chicago up, better.
And I hear you. And that's why I did have him on my sleeper list. But make no mistake about it, bro. If Darius Robinson goes at the end of the first or even high in the second, it would be one of the greatest jumps for mock drafts in NFL draft history. And that's not to say that somebody can't reach, but I'm willing to bet that Darius Robinson does not go in the first round or the beginning of the second round. Matter of fact, here's what I'll do. I'll put my money where my mouth is. If Darius Robinson goes at the end of the first round or the beginning of the second round, I will buy you a Chicago Bears draft hat. There you go, Tyrese. I will buy you a Chicago Bears draft hat. But I say that to say this. He's on my sleeper list for a reason. Darius Robinson, especially his versatility up and down that defensive line, that dude is a monster. But for some reason, I think people are really overlooking him, and that could go well in the Bears' favor if he's there at the third round when they pick. I hope so, because I'd love to see the Bears get Darius Robinson. But I tell you that, if the Darius Robinson goes, if he goes anywhere from the end of the first round to the first 5 picks in the second round, I'll buy you a Chicago Bears draft hat. All right, let's get into the last voicemail for today. This one's from Fred.
What up, Hayes? What it do, man? It's be your boy Fred, man. It's almost here, man. We gotta hope the next week. Let's see what's gonna happen in this draft, man. Hey, I just want to say this, man. I know you've been like, I've been giving you different scenarios about that pick, though. But I just want to say this, man. Like, since the media is putting all this pressure on Caleb, I want to see he gonna live up and do, what they expect him to do. Because now that we got a team and he's coming to a situation that's good, I want to see if he helps the team, get to the playoffs now. You know what I'm saying? Because the team's ready to win now. Like Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus said, it's time to win. Because if he don't pan out with this team that we surrounded him with, that somebody's going to be on the hot seat. I don't know who, but most likely it's going to be a problem, though. Well, Caleb, hopefully that he won't have no issues, that he won't have no failure, nothing going on with him, that he comes through and he showed the city that he could be that franchise quarterback for this team. And not only just showing us fans, that he showed the players as well and his organization. Because it's time for us to get back over the hump. It's time for us to start putting cleats to asses. It's time for us to be a dominant team. If Ryan Poles said we plan on taking the North and never give it back, let's, stop talking about it and let's be about it with action. Like Mark said, Sweat, I appreciate your encouraging everything, and your belief. But you and Jaquan Brisker, y'all got to show that shit with y'all action that y'all won't lose to Green Bay no more. That it's time to stop talking. Stop talking, put up, and make out right ears and helping the shoulder pads talk. You know what I'm saying? Because we be doing this too long, just talking, and we ain't putting no action behind it. So get ready, you know what I'm saying? Let's get ready. Let's see what these guys gonna do, man. I'm hoping Caleb be that quarterback for this franchise that we've been needing for the longest. Not saying Justin Fields couldn't been, but I hope this man is the franchise quarterback and can be the one that can lead us to some playoffs, division titles, and possibly a Super Bowl. Because if he don't, I don't know. I don't know what to say after this, though. But I'm wishing him nothing but success, the team's success, and let's see what we gonna do, man. Because I'm a Bear fan at the end of the day. May not like the moves that they always make, but at the end of the day, I'm a Bears fan. I love what you guys doing. I love calling in, chopping it up with you guys, man. and having a laugh with y'all. Y'all be having me crying this time. And hey, let me know your Facebook page too, man, so I can go support the page as well too. So let me know what you think, man. Chicago up, bear down or nothing. We in this.
Caleb living up to expectations, bro. Here's what I said, and you know I've said this consistently. I expect him to live up to the expectations. I don't necessarily expect that in year one, right? As far as the overall expectations on his career, do I expect Caleb Williams to have a 30 touchdown season? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I expect him to have a 3,500 yard passing season? Abso-fuck. Come on now. You better be pushing 4,000 yards passing at some point in your Chicago Bears career. Absolutely, I have those expectations on him, and everybody should. If he's going to live up to even a fraction of the hype, that should come at some point in time, especially with the weapons that we've built around him. I just say that I don't expect that in the first year. So that's what it comes down to. But yeah, beating Green Bay, winning the division eventually, take the North and never give it back, all these things, that is what I hope for. And I hope right hand to God that Caleb Williams ends up being the best quarterback we've had in Chicago Bears history. And I hope that for every player. I hope that Jalen Johnson's going to be the best cornerback. I hope that Tyreek Stevens can be one as well. I have that hope for everybody on my team because I am a Bears fan first. And if Caleb Williams does not work out for some reason down the stretch, yeah, it's a black eye on Ryan Poles. Yeah, it's a black eye and it would suck. But then the next guy comes in, you have those expectations as well on you. Eventually, we need our quarterback. We need a great here at that quarterback position. We deserve one, and we should not rest until we get one. That's what I think. That's what I feel. And like I said before, I'm going to root for whoever has that Bears jersey on, fights, competes, give their time, their blood, sweat, and tears, even though blood ain't happening as much anymore. But to give that to this team, that's what I want. That's what I love. That's what I respect. Fight for the Bears. Chicago going to fight for you. That's all it is and said to be done about that. But all right, y'all, make sure you guys are following the channel at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.